Good afternoon, everyone. It's Lori Staley, Addicted Stamper with Stampin' Up, and it is Tuesday at noon, or a few minutes after, because of my husband. um, so, welcome. Welcome to our class today. How's everybody doing? Let's see, who's here? Debbie's here. Hello, Debbie. Hello, Deborah. Hello, Corinne. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. So, what's happening in your worlds today, ladies? I am still playing catch up from my whirlwind trip to on stage down in Raleigh, but and then I'm leaving tomorrow morning bright and early, probably earlier than I would like to for sure, because I have open craft day tomorrow at the Nest, and then we go right into our retreat weekend. So I've been doing retreats with this group of women probably, oh my gosh, I don't know when we started, but I know it's at least over 10 years. So we do it twice a year, and now we can do it actually at the Cozy Craft Nest. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I know. I know. Well, he knows I do. Well, maybe he doesn't think about it, but he knows I do a live at noon on Tuesdays, and he called me at 2 minutes of 12. And when he calls, I at least want to answer, make sure there's not some kind of emergency that I need to be made aware of. It was just a rescheduling of our tax appointment. But anyway, we are here now. I've got three really pretty cards for you, I think, today, using Mixed Floral, but we'll do a little bit of housekeeping first. So last week we did the Storybook Moments Creativity Delivered class. And since that's a purchase class, I don't give that away, but I do give a little embellishment away. And this time I have the low profile dots. And the winner of these is Lisa Sharkey. So Lisa, congratulations. Thanks for watching and commenting and liking and all those good things. Let me find a pen so I can write your name on here, because I will not remember in the whirlwind to get everything cleaned up, packed up, and out the door, right? All right. And then I can't believe it's the 18th of the month already. But just a quick reminder about Just Cards this month. These are the 5 cards that you will get if you place, or when you place, a minimum $45 product order on my website using this month's host code. Okay. Everything is embossed and die cut for you so that when you receive the kits, if we're sending them long distance, you just have to put them together and add a greeting. So you can, again, earn those with $45 product purchase. If you are long distance, there's a $5 postage requirement or request that we make, so we can help cover some of our costs for postage and packaging. If you are local, you can do a porch pickup, or you can join us for the class on the second Tuesday of April at 3 p.m. But there you go. That's what's happening for this month. And next month will look maybe the same, maybe a little bit different with the changes that we are implementing to Stampin' Rewards and all of those great things that are coming for our customers. Speaking of great things coming, hello. Oh, thank you, Deborah. I appreciate that. Hey, Thelma, thank you. Gorgeous nails. Well, thank you. I think I had food poisoning yesterday. I was so sick. And so I had to cancel my appointment. So these are still my St. Patrick's Day nails. But isn't she pretty? She got wet. I'm sad about that. But she is pretty. They did hear us. We have things grouped that we didn't have grouped in the last catalog to make it a little bit easier. There is some beautiful designer series papers, some great stamps and dies coming. Lots of online exclusive things as well. So when this catalog launches, we also will be launching the online exclusives for May. So you're going to have a ton of new product to check out. In the meantime, why not make sure that you've got all the in-color product that you want, all the retiring stuff, the blends, the markers, the ink pads, the paper, all of that stuff that's retiring. Stock up on colored cardstock while you can at a lower price, right? Because we do know prices are raising in May. So keep all those things in mind. Maybe grab some of your staples so that you can remove those from your monthly or weekly or bi-weekly or however often you order, and be able to focus on all the new product, right? So anyway, she will be coming If you are my customer or in my clubs, you will obviously be getting one. If you do not have a demonstrator that you work with, then reach out to me and we can see about getting you a catalog as well. Which just reminds me, I have to go in and do catalog mailing selector before I leave. Oh my goodness. Okay. So we are going to play with mixed florals today. This one and the mixed labels, as you know, I love those mixed labels. I use them all the time. I think they're some of the best label dies we've had in a long time. I know, right? I know, I know. Yes, it was released to all demonstrators yesterday. Those of us that were at on stage obviously got the hard copy, but the electronic copy was released to all the demonstrators yesterday. So, and then I had a pre-order period, which I got my order in last night, like crazy rush. And then we'll have a pre-order for all demonstrators in April. So also a great time if you're thinking about maybe you want to get some goodies a little bit cheaper. Talk to me. We can figure out how that looks for you. All right. So Mixed Florals is our feature product today. And we're going to start with this card. Please ignore the blob. I'm not really sure what happened to the wishing you, but I didn't have time to go back and fix it. Plus, I think all the rest of my paper is in Gettysburg, so I didn't even have that paper here other than the piece I had cut for the kit. But this is, while we did some die cutting with the greenery, this is a fairly basic card, not a little bit of coloring, right? But I think it's really cute, and it's a great birthday card. And we're also working with the spring corners. So the spring corners has all these great greetings that go around your corner. Some littler ones. Is that a word? Littler, smaller ones. How about we go with that? As well as a couple individual greetings, and then some accent images, right? And I'll show you probably in April. I've got a really cool card we're doing in our club this month using some of that product. The dies are pretty cool as well. So you have dies to cut out your balloons, your heart, your little individual stem flower piece, right? Then you have this great corner die. I'm missing a couple dies because my husband was die cutting while I was teaching last night. So I can't get too mad at him because he called me at 2 minutes of noon. More corner dies, one that you can make a sun out of, a bigger heart. And then this is a really cool die that you can put down in the corner of your card, and it just cuts it into the cardstock. It's not a pop-up die or anything. So I love the dies as well for this one. And we're going to make this card. Peach pie. Makes me hungry for peach pie, right? Every time I say that. So we have peach pie, pecan pie, and pumpkin pie. I wonder who's naming the colors. I think they have a sweet addiction. That's the word I was looking for. This is the Boho Designer Series paper, a 6x6 pack. This is going to go right down the center of the basic white. And I did emboss it with Cane 3D embossing folder. I'm going to go ahead and mount that to the card front, but I'm not going to mount the boho yet because obviously we have to do a couple things. So I think I am maybe zoomed in a little bit. I mean, I couldn't even see my host code on my screen when I set the video up, but I do think I am zoomed in a little bit more today. What do you guys think? I just have to remember to stay in the center. I'm going to go ahead and attempt to ink the greeting. And something like this, I find it easier to take your stamp pad to the stamp than fit the stamp on there. It doesn't look like it should give me a problem, so let's find out. You do want to be careful and apply even pressure because this is a stamp because of how it is cut and on the, it did. So it's definitely the stamp itself. I don't know what I'm going to do about that, but I'll figure it out. Yeah, that's weird because it did basically the same thing and yet it looked perfectly clean on the block. I'll have to look into that. All right, so we're just going to go with it. we're going to go ahead and mount that down the center of our card. But anyway, you want to be careful when you are stamping down because it will rock just because you just have that thin line of photopolymer running across the top and the bottom edge, right? So even pressure, not heavier on the left side versus the right side. And then I did go ahead and die cut. So this is one of the dies that you get with Mixed Floral. I don't think I showed you those. Who has Mixed Floral? Because this was out for a little while now. So this is the die I cut out of Granny Apple Green. And then we have all the dies to cut all of the stamped images, including the little ladybugs. How cute are they? I didn't use them today, but I have used them and they're pretty cute. And there was me playing around with colors. All right, so this is going to go down first. I'm just going to do that, get all my pieces together, and then we'll do our... Sometimes I think it doesn't stay down at the tip, probably because I set it upright. I bet if I stuck it in my tool tray, it would always have the glue at the top. So who still has stuff on their wish list that might actually retire with this catalog? You have anything out there that you still want to grab? We have a challenge in April. They just put it out for all demonstrators, but they gave it to us while we were at on state. I always want to call it convention because for most of my career with Stampin' Up, it's been called convention. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on a couple of those stems just to tack them down a little better. Okay. I have lost you guys. And I don't know why. This happened the last time, I think, didn't it? Okay. Well, I think it's time for Lori to buy new computers. I don't even have a computer down here I can use. Okay. Trying to figure out what the solution is here. And then I've got a piece of basic white that's going to go on the inside. I can't see you all. So if you're commenting and asking me a question, I can't see it. I don't know. I might, after we finish this one, I'm going to try to stay in the center. This is the happy birthday from the Spring Corners. I might end this video, go grab another computer and come back on. So if we do that, make sure you come back with me. I'm going to try to finish this one. That would be the one that's already done, huh? All right. And then I did mount it on a block. Or maybe I'm just going to end it right now. Wait, I got it. It's in another kit. All right. So we're just inking up with Memento because we're going to add some blends to add a little bit of color to our image. Again, big stamp, so I chose to stamp it or ink it up with it laying down. I've got some lemon lolly, and we're going to do the bulk, not with the brush tip. I need to go through my blends and order replacements because a lot of mine get used in my classes. So we're gonna add lemon or yeah, lemon lolly. Nope, I'm lying to you. Daffodil Delight. Not intentionally. Daffodil Delight. And then we'll add a little bit of shading on the side. I chose to make these daisies, so I did not add. I'm going to grab some Granny Apple Green. This is the light. Do the stems. I don't like it when I can't see if you're commenting. I'm so sorry. I had a hard time getting that computer to come up. And it just might be time to get replacements. My computers last a long time. I'm not always all about getting the newest technology. First of all, because invariably I got to figure it out. It's not just plug and play, right? And I'm just going over the stems. I think I got everything. And we're going to grab dark Granny Apple and add some detail. I know this is like paint drying, right? And I meant to keep my other phone beside me because Logan, who is one of the VPs, has a lot of dad jokes. And they were hysterical. And I kept texting them to my husband because my husband likes dad jokes. And so then I'd have them. And I thought, oh, okay, well, when I'm coloring, and I need to fill the void, right? This is dark peach pie. And I'm just filling in those little flowers. And that's it. We left the daisies white. We're going to grab that die and die cut that. I'm going to bring my Post-it note tape in too, because I want to make sure this stays in place. I check like 3 points, like on this side, and then down at the bottom to try to get it as evenly centered as I can. And some dies are easier than others. That's looking pretty good. I think we're going to go for it. So I'm going to put a piece of Post-it note tape there and then one down at the bottom. And I know, like at the nest, I have washi tape that we can use. So washi tape, Post-it note tape, whatever you have to help hold your die correctly around your stamp. I actually, when I'm stamping, prefer Post-it note tape just because I think it's a little less likely to tear your cardstock. But if you're using washi tape, one of the ways that you can avoid that is to just put the tape on your jeans or your sweater or whatever clothing, because it will remove some of the tackiness. So I'll pat it down once or twice and pull it off a couple times, and then it will still hold the die in place, but it's less likely to actually tear what you're cutting out. Okay, that looks pretty good, huh? And then I didn't even mount this on dimensionals. We're just going to lay it flat. And there we go. There is the first project. I thought about doing balmy blue in the background here where the die cut doesn't cut the detail out. And that's what you saw on this one. I started to do it back here, but I wasn't, I guess I would have liked it. Yeah, so you could do that as well. You could add balmy blue into those areas that did not cut out with the die, and it would kind of look like it's right against the background. The problem is there's greenery behind it, and I didn't quite know how to make that work in addition to the sky effect. So, all right, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, how am I going to do that? If I can't get the computer back up, I can't close the video. So, can you bear with me for 1 minute while I try to find a computer? Because that's the only way I'm going to be able to do this. Okay, I have a computer. I have to hook it up. Make sure we have power. Otherwise, the same thing will happen. But this one is plugged in, and it had a full battery, so I'm not sure why I lost everything. But I did. Okay, so now let me see if I can find the video or the live. That I think it was last week I had all the difficulties, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago. The day after we got the notice from our internet provider that yes, there were issues in our area, and they were working on them as quickly as possible to get them corrected. I was like, yeah, thanks for telling me. I didn't have a clue. All right, almost there. I am so sorry. To my channel. Here we are. Yay, I can see you all. Oh my gosh. You could put the stamp in the stamparatus. Absolutely, Thelma. Oh, no, wait, I got to turn the volume down on this one. Or we'll have feedback. There we go. Yeah, I can see you. Okay. Good here, beautiful. Yeah, you all could see me, but my computer died was the problem. So that's why I couldn't see anything that you were saying. So hopefully some folks will come back because I see I lost quite a few of you. Um, and my apologies for that. Okay, I think we're good. We got this one up. It's working. We're gonna keep our fingers crossed. Let me get rid of this stuff and we'll move on to our next project. So who's still here with me? Anybody still here with me? All right. That didn't. Some days I think it's the powers that be are trying to tell me that I shouldn't be doing live. I don't know. I don't know. All right, so here's one. So we have a new really cute turtle set coming out. I'll give you one of the dad jokes. We have a really cute new turtle set coming out. So what do you call a, let me get it right, a turtle chef? What do you call a turtle chef? Anybody know? Okay, so I've got Melinda, yay, Corinne, yay, Debbie, and Deborah, yay. Okay, thank you guys for sticking with that. I apologize. Yeah, it's just, it amazes me. It just amazes me. But I watch other friends of mine that are demonstrators and I see them go through similar things. And I'm like, okay, it's not just me. It's not just me. So we're going to make this guy, same stamp set, right? Different colors that we're going to use on it. And we're using some of the coordinating designer series paper. So we're going to start with the card base. And I've not used a lot of Shy Shamrock before, but I really am liking playing with it with these projects. Uh-huh. All right, and I'm just going to trim that little end off there. This is going to just get mounted right onto our basic white layer. And I could have cut the white apart to expose the Shy Shamrock that's going to be the background, but instead I just added that 1/4-inch strip to the back of the designer series paper. And now I can pop this onto the Shy Shamrock. So these are not involved cards. The wow of these cards are the floral images from Mixed Floral. And then we'll put that right on our card base. Give that a good piece. But we didn't really want to do that, did we? Nope. We didn't. And now let's see if I can get it up because we're going to use some baker's twine on here. So I'm going to pull that out as my reminder. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp that flower again. And we'll pop that on here. They stamp very nicely. For as large as the images are, they do stamp quite nicely. We are going to bring in our colors. This time we're going to use light bubble bath for the little flowers. Oh, can you hear that squeak? We all know what the squeak is, right? That means it's time for Lori to replace her bubble bath markers. It's funny because when I hear that and I look at the color I'm using, I'm like, yep, that's one I reach for all the time. And then I've got some that I've had forever and they don't make any sound. Oh, thank you, Melinda. So anybody know what you call a turtle chef? And then I'm going to use light berry burst for the centers. Thought that would make it pop a little bit more. Of course, I'm using the bullet tip. Okay. No Googling it. That's what my husband did. I'm like, that's cheating. That's just cheating. We've got some light pecan pie. I would say these are cone flowers. Is that what you would think? And then we're going to do the same thing that we did on the last card with dark pecan pie and just do a little bit of shading here. All right. I'll tell you what a turtle chef is called. He's called a slow cooker. I thought that was cute. Okay. Bringing back in the daffodil. Trying to decide what I want to do first. I think I'm going to go with the light. This is also one that, just the way it's scratchy sounding, I think I'm going to need to replace soon. And with spring coming, we're going to do a lot of coloring of flowers to get all those pretty cards done. So we're definitely going to need them. So we just did the petals. I'm going to come around the centers now to add that shading. And I'll go back over the outside edge just to blend it in a little bit with the lighter color. Bleed it out a little bit, if you will. And Shy Shamrock, right? Yep, Shy Shamrock. So Granny Apple Green was the stems on the last one. But this time, I'm going to play off the Designer Series paper, which is often how I get my colors. And I'll show that to you. I don't know if I've ever showed that online. But there is also a really cool tool that Stampin' Up! Offers. Years and years and years ago, we had something called a color coach. And it was something that we could purchase from them. And it had all the colors of Stampin' Up! That were current. And it gave you suggestions on combinations, etc., that you could use when designing your projects. And we haven't had that for a while. And I've done some things over the years just myself to try to help me keep everything coordinated, if you will. But I don't know if it was this catalog or the last catalog. I lose track. I'll be 22 years in August, and we were even talking about that at convention, how things change. And see, convention. I'm still calling it convention. I know. I think because the inks are too similar, that's why. They can't get enough differentiation in the color. Oh, speaking of that, if you haven't heard this, who's been around long enough to remember Purple Posy? So Purple Posy was an ink color several years ago, and we could never stabilize the ink. So guess what? We have another one like that right now that they're working on, and that's Cloud Cover, which is one of the new ink colors coming. So keep your fingers crossed because it's a great color. And we'll still have the cardstock and the markers and all of that. We just won't necessarily have an ink pad. But if that happens, I'll teach you some cool tricks on how to use what we have in your stamping. Hopefully they'll get it straightened out. All right, I just added a little detail with the dark, but this better be where I think it is. There it is. Have you guys noticed this in the catalog? Do you know you can order this? So this is our color coach now, and basically it's the pie with all of the core colors. The in colors are not on here. And so if I want to use Bubble Bath, for instance, I can line up my window and my, triadic. All of a sudden I had to read it. I couldn't remember it. Okay, and then it's going to tell me, okay, these are complementary colors. Real Red and Poppy Parade are very complimentary. Cherry Cobbler works, and so does Flirty Flamingo. The less of the whole slice of pie, if you will, that you see in the window. We've got the colors that are analogous. I don't know if that's how I'm saying that right. Pumpkin pie, pecan pie, crushed curry, daffodil delight, lemon lolly, even very vanilla, and lemon lime twist. And we've got more complimentary in the green families. So this tells us what you can use to combine. I will occasionally pull this out. If I can't find something that I really like when I'm playing with it, I will pull this out and I will line it up with whatever color I'm using and figure out, okay, so if I'm using Petal Pink, apparently that's going to look really good with Berry Burst. So I'm going to try that. I am probably a more monochromatic individual than I am, say, a triadic, or what's the other one called? That analogous. So this is a cool tool, and it talks to you. It tells you on the back, you know, monochromatic, choose one color you love and pair it with shades and tints of the same color. It talks about complementary, and it talks about triadic and analogous. So it does give you information on what those different terms mean, but it's a nice tool to have in your arsenal if you struggle sometimes putting your colors together. So it is orderable. It's online, I believe. And as far as I know, it's in inventory right now. It had been out of stock, but I believe it's back in. All right, let me find the die, which I literally just had, and we'll get this card finished up, and then we'll move on to the last one. And I promise no coloring in the last one. There it is. I know it's like watching paint dry, right? You have a color wheel? Awesome. Good. Good, good, good. All right. So we're grabbing that again. I don't know what I do with my other pieces. I do reuse them, but for speed, since we had the little technical issue, we're just going to add two more. The other cool thing at on stage was I actually finally got to meet my virtual assistant in person. So that was kind of cool. We've done Zoom calls and stuff, but it's just not the same as being able to give somebody a hug. So there is our flower a second time. I do have to get this off of here, don't I? Okay. We're going to do flat mount again. I know. Can you believe I'm not using dimensionals yet? I don't know if I used dimensionals on the last card or not. I can't remember. So we're going to pop that down there. Then we're going to bring in our twine. Don't want to go quite that high. Okay, that looks good. And we're just going to wrap it around here 3 times. Okay, tie it off on the back. Well, not tie it off, but mount it on the back. Make sure everything stays straight. Now I can put this onto our card base. And I pick the card base up. Let's use the same side. Yeah. And then I have a little bow that I pre-tied because, you know, tying bows on camera. I've done it a couple times. I have a customer that watches sometimes and she's like, can you please tie the bow again? And I'm like, yep, absolutely. But I did no swaps. Every time I go to convention, I can't help but think of my mom who tied 500 bows for, or 300 bows for me, my first convention. That was crazy. That was crazy. And then that Greetings for All ephemera pack that we played with a couple weeks ago, I think it was, that I absolutely love. Well, this Sending Hugs greeting comes right from it. And we're just going to fussy cut. around this to give it a matte layer. Debbie, did you get your scissors? I know she was going to get a pair of these. So my first pair that I had, first time I showed you, never showed up here or at the nest. So I have no idea what happened to it. But so far I've managed to hold on to the two pairs that I bought to replace it. So one here and one down there. Because the less I have to carry back and forth, the less likely I am to leave something down there that I need here for a life. Oh, I'm going to use dimensionals right here on that greeting. Absolutely. All right. I still think we're going to do this in under an hour. Even with the technological issue. And there we go. How cute is that? So there is project number 2. Same flower, colored differently. Really, this one I think pops. The other one was to reflect the white daisy, so it had a little less color in it. All right, last card. And this one I did color, but I colored it differently. So you get to tell me which one you think looks better. So this is the Easter card. Okay. I don't have an inside because we don't have any Easter greetings right now, but you probably have something in your stash if you're making Easter cards from prior years that you can do your inside greetings. Here are my textured notes, die cuts. Again, I can't say enough good about these. I love them. I do. I do. And I pre-colored the flower because this one would have taken a while. So I used light blackberry bliss, fresh freesia for the accents on the tulips, and then fresh freesia for the small flowers, and then light and dark old olive. And then when we get this put together, you can tell me which one you prefer. Blackberry bliss is my card base. We're going to have a layer of fresh freesia, and we're going to mount that textured note die right to the center. Let me look at that again. It's really hard to tell on this one which is the front and which is the back. That's going to go on the card front. Fresh Freesia is one of those papers you have to be real careful when putting your adhesive on because it likes to go along for the ride. And then this is just going to sit right there. Again, no dimensionals for the flat. Look, I was playing. Well, you don't waste cardstock, right? Nobody's ever going to see the back of that. The Easter greetings stamp comes from Storybook Friends. I don't know, and I know they're closing, so they're if they had them, they're probably gone. But maybe Joann's or a fabric store, if you have any of those around you, because they really are fabric scissors, like quilting scissors. Hopefully, I'm still on screen, but the glare is not letting me see what I'm trying to stamp. Go. Thanks, Corinne. And I'm actually going to slide this in under and pop that right there. So, hello. So that our flowers are kind of acting as an accent on our label, our flower and our leaf image. Let's get you straightened out there. There we go. And then I have the Starburst sequins. And this is white, crushed curry and fresh freesia are the colors. And my packaging is a mess. And this is online exclusive as well. So if you're like, I didn't see that in the book, it's because it's online. I'm going to use one of the small ones right there. One of the large ones down here in the corner. And then another small one. Because we always do the odd numbers, right? And if you really like somebody, you could add even more of the embellishments to it. And there we go. So, do you like the Blackberry Bliss or the All Fresh Freesia better? For that one. And again, this was light and dark Fresh Freesia, light Blackberry Bliss, and Old Olive, light and dark, right? This, same Old Olive, but I reversed and I did Fresh Freesia on the small flowers, light Blackberry Bliss, and I think I even used the color lifter a little bit to get a little bit of the pattern in the petal, if you will, and then Fresh Freesia for the accent color. So do you like Blackberry Bliss or Fresh Freesia? And I'll bring the other two in while you're deciding on that. So there. And there. You like both Fresh Freesia, Blackberry Bliss. I love that. See, that's why you do things different because everybody likes something different. All right, gang, that is what I have for you. Again, my apologies for the technical issues. I'll be leaving that in the hands of my husband when I leave this week because he is the computer guru in our house. Um, Hopefully, we'll have that straightened out before we go live together the next time. And until then, have a great week. Be safe. I will not be live Sunday night over on my Facebook page because I will still be at retreat. We don't come home until Monday. So I will be back here with you all on Tuesday at noon on the 25th. Until then, have a great one. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks for liking and sharing, and have a great week. Bye. Now we have to figure out how we're going to shut it down if I can't get that other computer to come up. Oh my goodness, friends.